Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from Las Vegas. On the broadcast today, the chairman of the Clark County Commission, Segerblom, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
They want us to believe we only have two options. That's just not working anymore. I've never been a follower. I'm a businessman and entrepreneur. I'm ready to forge a new path to secure our future, one that keeps Northern Nevada free, fair, and wild. A path that means freedom for all, including affordable housing.
I'm Greg Kidd, and I approve this message because I'm not from either political party. I'm for Nevada.
Nevada Newsmakers Goes to Washington is brought to you by Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you. NV Energy. NV Energy proudly serves Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. The Nevada Mining Association, mining a better future for Nevada. And University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, offering the highest level of care in Nevada.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday. Trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from the Ahern Hotel, we are always pleased and delighted to welcome back to the program Segerblom, Chair of the Clark County Commission. Pleasure to have you here, sir.
Pleasure to be here.
Let's start out with the briefing you got from the Airport Authority on their expansion plans for Harry Reid.
Well, we've been talking the last few years about the airport down by Ivanpah and all the work's going into that, and I kept saying, what about Terminal 1? We have some problems there. And so now they came back with a plan, and it really addresses a lot of the issues that we've dealt with, which is transportation and the way the circulation is there, and we're dealing with other issues. But what they didn't get into, which I really hope we can expand on, is the actual design. I think the design for Terminal 1 needs to be a Las Vegas over the top, so we got the Sphere, we got the new A Stadium. Those are really architectural marvels. So this thing ought to blow your head off.
Having been to Singapore this last year and seen Changi Airport, I agree with you that is, a stunning airport, and Vegas, at minimum, Ivanpah should be something like that. But the potential to do something at Harry Reid should be the same thing to make it a spectacular greeting. But really, they're adding gates. And we're going to do an interview with the deputy head of the airport here in just a few minutes. But it seems to me that we're just cramming more flights into that airport. It's already crazy there. We're not going to slow down.
Well, but there's ways to manage it more. We could have more night flights. We have larger planes. So we can. I mean, the Ivanpah is not going to open for 15 years at least. So in the meantime, the first place people see in Las Vegas is the airport. The last place they see is the airport. If you go to the bathrooms are dirty. If the ceilings are low, I mean, you don't want to have people leave on that note. So I think it's so important that our airport reflects who we are. And if you go up and down the Strip, Vegas is on fire. So let's make the airport match the Strip.
Did they put a dollar figure on this expansion?
They said billions. They didn't get into the details. I don't think they even know. But the good news is the airplanes pay for it, so it's not like it's going to come out of the taxpayer pocket. So it's a win-win. I mean, it's going to be jobs. It's going to be, but again, let's make it reflect the current Las Vegas. We've always been so cheap as far as building stuff. Now we have the resources and the name, so let's do it.
I just hope it's not $10 bottles of water. It's already getting up there. All right, let's change topics here. Formula One, the businesses affected, have been coming to the county commission. There's a lawsuit that's been filed. What's the latest on this, and what's your perspective?
Well, because it's a lawsuit, I don't want to get into too much details,
Right.
but I can say this. There are clearly some businesses who were affected. One guy, literally his business was shut down. The road in front of him, his gas station was closed, so he couldn't make any money. So, I mean, those are legitimate claims, and how you evaluate that and who pays for it, I don't want to get into the details, but I think overall, the question we have to ask ourselves is it worth it? I mean, there's a couple of hotels that are doing well, but the rest of the town, at least last year, didn't do that well. Now they're going to pay. The convention authority is going to pay for a concert downtown to kind of match it. But I think at some point we need to just evaluate, whether what the pain we go through is worth the benefit we get.
Now this is a go for at least 3 years, correct? So
Correct.
this is year 2, and then the possibility of extending another 7 years. With the amount of money Formula One is investing, it seems like you're not going to have too much choice in whether that extends for at least the 10-year period, does it?
Well, I'm not so sure, and maybe we can rearrange it. Is nighttime the best? There's different course. There's lots of things we could try to do, but let's see this year. I think this year has gotten off to a better start from my perspective. So in that sense, we're making progress, but it's still just a tremendous effort on all of us. And is it worth it? And probably way more important, do we do this again? I mean, next time they come to us with a Allegiant Stadium or a Formula One or the A's, lets the county look at it a little closer as opposed to just rubber stamp and say, oh, by the way, here's it is, and take care of it.
Do you see it potentially something like NFR, where the finals rodeo is all over town, and you don't actually have to go to the rodeo to be a part of it? You can see the rodeo in every hotel. They're putting on events. This time downtown is putting on this event you were referring to. Derek Stevens is heading that up. Do you see that as a possibility to develop this over a 10-year and maybe even beyond that?
It certainly could, but again, the biggest problem is just the people that work on the strip, and the 2 months leading up to it and the 2 months afterwards taking it down. I mean, it's a tremendous detriment to just our local people and the people that work on the strip. For what? For like a weekend of high dollar stuff. So I think we haven't really delved into the real cost and the real benefit.
All right.
But again, we're making progress. So let's look at this after this year.
Are you optimistic?
Well, I'm optimistic we'll get a better handle on this and learn by mistakes. But I'm not optimistic that at the end of the day it's worth it.
How do your colleagues feel on the commission?
Well, because of the open meeting law, I can't go poll them. But I know they're all feeling the same thing I'm feeling, which is a lot of people, when you mentioned F1, our voters are not happy.
All right, let's take a break. More with Segerblom when we come back.
We're in a book club. It's a fun group.
But Sam Brown's part of a different group.
The extremist movement with a far-right agenda.
Sam Brown said he wanted to repeal the Affordable Care Act, denying coverage to people with pre-existing conditions.
Brown supports letting states ban abortion.
And he was even caught saying he admires a plan that could phase out Social Security.
We've got our friends. Sam Brown has his. He's too extreme for Nevada.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Story County is leading Nevada. Home of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Google, Tesla, Panasonic, and other world-leading companies. Story County provides thousands of tech, advanced manufacturing, and logistics careers for Nevadans. We're diversifying and driving Nevada's economy and generating millions in tax revenue and billions in economic activity across northern Nevada. Story County is leading Nevada's future.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Segerblom. He's the chairman of the Clark County Commission. Some say more powerful position than the governor's. I was talking with Jessica Hill, the political reporter for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, and she was talking about a group that she met with of undecided voters. How can people at this point in time, with the volume of advertising, still be undecided?
Well, maybe that's what advertising does. I think a lot of it is actually designed to discourage people from voting because they make it look so horrible and horrendous that normal people just give up. I mean, honestly, as much as I've been involved with politics, if I watch the TV very long, it just turns your stomach what's on there.
But who does that benefit? Because if you're turning off people from voting, which I agree with you, potentially that does, don't both sides equally lose in that?
Well, that's the question. I mean, obviously somebody's being paid a lot of money to make that determination, and maybe their advertising discourages my voters, and our advertising discourages their voters, and it's who discourages them the most. But somebody's got to think out there that it's better to have a small electorate than it is to have a large electorate, and you don't want people at the last minute, either way, coming in.
All right, so let's lead into ranked choice voting from that. What are your thoughts on ranked choice voting? And that's question 3, of course.
Yeah, I think in concept it sounds great, although I've never understood how it works. But I think.
And isn't that the problem?
That is, from my perspective, it's like.
You're one of the smartest people I know, and if you're saying it's complicated.
Yeah, so I'm going to vote against it. And I like the idea. I think it brings people to the middle. But the other thing it does, especially if you have open primaries, is it really forces you to spend a lot more money. The good thing about the primary system is it allows you to at least concentrate on a small group of voters in the primary, win that district, and then go on. And so money is such a problem in politics that anything that's going to require more money, I think, just benefits the rich.
All right, so you wouldn't be in favor of open primaries then?
No, because again, what's happening is somebody comes in with $1 million into a race. How do you compete with that? And at least within the primary process, you have a set group of voters who know what their issues are. You have unions who, at least for the Democratic side, unions who are involved in that. They can go out and get their members excited. And so we can elect people who support what we think are the Democratic ideas. But you put $1 million behind anybody, Trump, and he sounds like the best man in the world.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about ranked choice voting to me is that it pushes people towards the middle, but you know, it then becomes the opposite of what we've always had, which is that people run to the fringes in the primary and then moderate to the middle in the general. Are we going to have the exact opposite, where people start out as moderates and then end up as you know, flaming right or left when we get to the general?
Again, I'm not totally sure. My one example that I like is Alaska, where they elected a Democratic congresswoman for Alaska overall, even though the Republicans have always won that seat, because if you just focus on Republicans are going to win. But so there is a moderate influence, but it's just I don't think we're there yet. I think it's too complicates things too much, and especially the way we organize our elections, it would be very difficult.
Jessica Hill went to Alaska for the RJ and said that they're in the process of putting it on the ballot to get rid of it. So
yeah, well, I'm sure the Republicans hate it because that great Native American won the general election in the House of Representatives.
Let's change to another subject, which is the abortion issue on the ballot. Your thoughts on that? Because a lot of people say it's already in the Constitution. You know, Nevada is a good place, you know, is in a good place as regards this. But what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's clearly designed to encourage people to vote. And honestly, it never hurts to express your opinion on that. And I think in Nevada, more than any other state, probably, it's live and let live, and you know, whatever is my personal rights, don't infringe on them. So I think it's going to generate voters who wouldn't otherwise vote. Hopefully, when they vote for that question, they vote down the ticket and vote for Kamala. But that's the goal. And it never hurts to ask people, what do you think? And if it's 70%, then everybody needs to know that issue is very unpopular in Nevada and around the country.
You know, and you bring up a really interesting point. And George Harris was on the program a couple of days ago talking about a similar thing, but from the other side. And, you know, in discussions with him after the fact, it's about getting out the vote.
Right. But there's nothing wrong with getting out the vote and sometimes having an issue to generate publicity and enthusiasm. Nothing wrong with that. That's the way politics is played.
Yes, it is. The presidential race. Right now, one of the things that strikes everybody, and I'm sure you hear about this all the time, is the cost of groceries, the cost of gas in Nevada. You know, do you think that the election is going to turn on the cost of goods for the average person?
I hope not, because I don't see that whoever had been president the last 4 years could have changed that at all. That was really the result of COVID and having everything shut down and then coming back and the supply deficiencies. So I don't think that it's something that you could blame either side for, but obviously that's going to be the Republicans' MO, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who say, oh my God, you know, Trump has been there, prices of gasoline wouldn't have gone up and the price of groceries wouldn't have gone up. But hopefully people can see now they're stable, gas is actually going down, and start to realize that actually what's happened the last 4 years is we've finally gotten our hands around this thing and we're going back to stability. And you figure what your house is worth, what your 401k is worth. I mean, people never had as well as they have right now. And do you want to rock the boat and roll the dice with somebody else, or do you want to stick with the team that's brought this stability, you know, given people record wealth, and is focused on trying to help ordinary people?
You know, talking about the price of housing, yes, if you're a homeowner, you're really happy. If you're not a homeowner and you want to be a homeowner, you've got issues. You know, we've got several lands bills in the Congress right now. There's one for Las Vegas as well. Where do you think we are with that? Does the commission agree on what the lands bill's shape should look like? Because I've talked to Congressman Amodei, and he says, you know, we've got to hear from, you know, each of the counties as to what they actually want when we present these lands bills.
Well, we haven't actually seen the final result, but we have supported. I've written a letter supporting the lands bill, and it is critical we provide more land here in the valley. Now, when you go outside the valley, that could be a little bit of a dispute, but within the valley, we need more land. There's lots of land available, and we need to provide that because our population is growing and we need housing. Also, but in the meantime, we need to start looking back inward, more density, higher up. And that uses less water, uses less air. We don't have to build as many roads. There's a lot of infrastructure needs that are taken care of if you build back in. And so infill is really the message right now.
Do you have conversations with BLM here locally?
In general, yes. Specifically, if you got a piece of property you're trying to change or whatever. I just got a piece of property for a metro substation over on Sunrise Mountain, which is going to be great.
Well, the reason I bring it up is I was talking to some realtors recently, and they from here in Southern Nevada, and they were telling me that there's land available for the BLM already, but it's not being released. Have you heard that?
No, I mean, I know there's land out there that there are restrictions on, and we're trying to work on that for affordable housing and things like that, parks and things and schools. But there's not huge pieces of property that the BLM could turn over right now. We could start building houses.
Right.
I know.
And do you have concerns about how long, once a lands bill is passed, it would still take a long time to get that land in action, right?
I'm not sure how long, but the truth is that's why I say infill is really the message right now, because but it's so beneficial for everyone to build back in. And I've been in my position 6 years. In the last 2 years, developers are actually starting to come to me with proposals. I'm building houses down on Boulder Highway. Never would have dreamed that would happen. So lots of things are happening because of the scarcity of land, which in my opinion is good, because less driving, the cleaner the air, lots of benefits to high density.
If Dina Titus could hear you right now, she would be so thrilled, because you're proposing, her ring around the valley.
Yes.
And that does make the most sense. Increased density.
Yeah, and just keep building out with freeways and everything. It's just, anyway, it's not a wise goal ultimately, but in the short term, we have to make everything move.
All right, let's take another break. We'll be back more with Segerblom after this timeout.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org. Take a look at Pro Group Management and see how your workers' comp requirements can be met head-on. By taking a proactive approach, Pro Group can assure that your company is meeting or exceeding state and federal standards. As you move forward in your industry, Pro Group moves with you, simplifying regulatory tasks, clearing the way so you can get the job done and look to your future success. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday, trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Segerblom. He's the chair of the Clark County Commission. Just one more thing on the presidential race. At this point, it seems bizarre that the R's are seen as more towards the working class and the D's are seen more as towards the elites. How did that happen?
I have no idea, other than I guess you always go to where you can go. But it is totally crazy that the thing is flipped, and so the billionaires are partnering with the poor and the working class, the blue collar workers, to make the billionaires richer, and the blue collar workers are supporting that. I mean, I think it's our being the Democrats' responsibility to figure out how that happened and change that around, because obviously with unions and what we stand for, blue collar workers ought to be with us. But you're right, that's where it is today. The blue collar workers love Trump.
One more question here.
You haven't asked me about marijuana yet.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's go there. Consumption lounges. How are they going?
Have you been down the street yet?
No.
It's just literally half a mile. You should walk over there and check it out. But anyway, it's been incredibly slow. I mean, we forget that this is just a plant, and people have been smoking it and being around it forever. And then it's so expensive to build one of those things. There's only 2 in Las Vegas so far. We got a few more coming, but we got to make it easier, because who's going to pay to buy something that they can take outside and use it, and then go into someplace and pay more money to use it? It's a difficult economic proposition.
Okay, but I mean, isn't it more of a social thing?
Well, that's the goal, but people don't want to sit around with people they don't know and just smoke or drink. So you have to find food or entertainment or something. That's where we're in the process of evolving to that, where there's a reason to go there, and while you're there, you would enjoy things.
Isn't that where Planet 13 would be the best example?
Well, it hopefully will, but they don't have that right now. So, but again, we're in the process of exploring, and there's going to be lots of things out there. But California just passed a cannabis cafe bill, which will allow food and things. So that's where we're going to go. We just need to have the legislature and the governor to lighten up and say, look, this is an economic boom for us. More people are using marijuana all the time, less alcohol. So let's embrace it and make it an option in Las Vegas.
Okay, so it's something that has to go through the legislature to get this passed.
Well, to make it a little easier. I mean, we have the law on the books, but now we need to be able to allow events like EDC. There should be booths out there. When the conventions come, we have MJ BizCon, which is the largest marijuana convention in the world. Why can't we have a marijuana event at MJ BizCon? I mean, hello? We went to Sacramento and saw at the State Fair, where they have a cannabis exhibit and a cannabis consumption lounge at the State Fair, sponsored by the state of California.
Have you talked to Governor Lombardo about this?
I have not, but
I think
I'm waiting for that supermajority.
Okay, that's where we have to leave it. Tig Segerblom is the chair of the Clark County Commission and a good friend, and I thank you for doing this as always.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Nevada Newsmakers Goes to Washington is brought to you by Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you. NV Energy. NV Energy proudly serves Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. The Nevada Mining Association, mining a better future for Nevada. And University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, offering the highest level of care in Nevada.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers come to you from Las Vegas. Our thanks to the Ahern Hotel for accommodating us. We'll see you on the next broadcast.